For over 12 hours today, the State Committee on Business and Commerce has heard from energy experts, fellow lawmakers, and angry landowners, all talking about the same thing, the proposed 765 kilovolt transmission line.
And lawmakers reviewed the proposed lines, the approval process that allowed them to move forward, and the need for the high voltage lines. Lawmakers also questioned what benefits customers would see in return for paying for the proposed 765 kilovolt transmission lines. The PUC said the project could reduce grid congestion and save customers hundreds of millions of dollars each year, but acknowledged those savings would not fully offset the cost of the project.
So one of the major added values for all consumers is the reduction in congestion costs. So as I said earlier, the estimate is between $300 and $500 million annually in reduced congestion costs around, and that benefits all customers.
So then that savings that may be realized, is that enough to offset the cost increases for the transmission lines?
Over time, no. I mean, it's not going to offset.
So we'll still see a rate increase?
So yeah, so I mean, yes, this transmission build out will have to be paid through rates from consumers. That's correct.
But the concerns surrounding the project go beyond the cost to customers. Some landowners and opponents say that they are worried about the impact these transmission lines could have on private property.
You know, and I'm sad, but I'm mad. And I'm very disappointed on how this has been handled. This isn't the way we do things in Texas. You don't rush in and turn someone's life upside down.
That was country music legend Tanya Tucker, who testified against the project. Tucker, who has property in Burnett County, is one of hundreds of landowners pushing back against the proposed transmission lines. Our Cindy Walker was at the Capitol for the hearing today and has more from some of our Central Texas neighbors who made their voices heard today.
In just 180 days.
The public doesn't feel like they've been treated right and that this is a fair process.
And less than 90 for landowners.
You had landowners here that had 10 months of notice and others that had 27 days.
State energy leaders plan to build a nearly 200-mile-long transmission line going through multiple Central Texas counties.
I got a packet in the mail that showed that these massive 765 kilovolt lines are either crossing my property or running alongside of them.
And for people like John Burrow, right on their property.
I never had an opportunity for my voice to be heard, to obtain the specialized legal representation that you need.
Burrow from Bell County said he was one of 1,400 landowners that never heard about a public meeting.
It's like throwing me into the ring with Mike Tyson. I'm having to battle multi-billion-dollar corporations and their high-powered lawyers.
The same goes for Burnett County.
Towers are going to be, up to 198 feet tall, 141 feet wide.
Where Mia Surratt drove from to speak her mind.
We're hopeful that we can bring those issues to our legislators and say, please help us revise this process and to give us some more protections.
The expedited process was made possible by House Bill 5066, which shortened the process of approval by PUC.
Encore, we gave them an inch and they took hundreds and hundreds of miles.
Representative Brad Buckley, who supported 5066 in 2023, said it's not what he voted for.
Bill authorized regional transmission upgrades and more generation. And now what we see really is the first part of a statewide plan proposed under the guise of that legislation.
He spoke in support today as a lawmaker and a landowner. Landowners who want to press pause.
I'm really looking for the PUC to do the right thing, to make certain that they're leading in the fashion that really represents Texas and represents landowners across Central Texas, particularly in Bell County.
And have their voice heard.
If this goes through, despite all of this outcry that it suggests, do we really have a meaningful part in this process? Is our input valued?
At the Capitol, Cindy Walker, 6 News.
Well, PUC Chairman Thomas Gleason said the PUC is discussing proposing a change to the process, but doubled down on the project, saying that doing nothing to get power to the Permian Basin is not an option.
The hearing is still ongoing as we speak and is expected to last a few more hours as more residents are set to give their thoughts on the project.